is the Motovation Podcast, hosted by Laurie Joy Kingwell and Krissy Vann. That's me. And we're taking you on a little off-roading.
And every single week, we're going to be joined by our dope friend, Richelle from True Grit Moto.
Woo! Hey, I floss.
And every week, we are going to ask each other stupid questions, and we're going to answer them. And why, you may ask? Because we can. All right, this is your Motovation
Off-road edition.
Who wants to go first today? Who wants to crack a lack?
I'll go first.
Apparently not me, because I'm not
Yes,
organized.
hit it, Richelle.
I'm going to hit this, and I took pictures of my questions. In fact, I love my first question. I think my first question is going to be a hoodalaroo. Okay. Okay. What is your favorite shower song? Okay. And if you've got one, you got to sing us the best part of it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, okay.
1, 2, 3, into the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door, ready to knock him out, because you know we're gonna rip shit up. Compton and Long Beach, you know, we're in trouble.
I'm sorry.
lyrics
This is
here.
your shower song?
That's
This
the
is
shower
what-
song?
This is what you're showering, singing?
You
She's
guys
like-
don't listen to gangster rap.
No,
From the
I
90s.
do. It's not what comes out in the shower. No, for real. Is that what you sing in the shower?
Oh, I always bring, oh my gosh, my laptop literally just popped up and said playing music, set up professional audio, which I think means it thinks I'm a professional singer, but don't get excited, MacBook. Yeah, I will bring a speaker into the shower with me, and that's a common.
Oh, I see. You bring the speaker in. I see.
Yeah.
I don't
That
just
makes more
a cappella
sense.
party of one.
But most people do. That's why
Yeah.
I was like, you just rap in the shower.
She's
I
Ain't
did not
nothing but a G
expect
thing,
it.
baby.
Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby.
Baby.
She going real old school with it too. It's not like new, like, you know, the baby
Love it.
pop that ass. It's like ain't
Papa
nothing but a
that
G.
Papa
Rolling
ass.
down the streets, smoking endo,
Endo,
sipping
sipping
on
on
gin
Gin and
juice.
juice.
Laid
Got my mind on
back,
my money,
got my
my
mind
money
on my
on my
money and my money on my crack, because I'm washing it.
Oh, I get it. I
I
like how you laid that in there. It rhymed.
There you
Yeah.
go. Good luck, Laurie.
oh
Set the
Top
stage.
that.
So when I sing in the shower, I sing very sad songs, I find. Like ballads.
And yeah.
Yeah. Just as I'm just washing myself.
It's just in there.
Oh.
What's
Yeah,
the sad songs? Why so sad?
Well, ballads are usually sad, but
Mhm.
I never, it's always, I think this song that weirdly, I immediately comes out that when I had to really think of like, what song do I really sing? I'm like, oh, Leon Bridges, River. Because it's Sharon River.
I love it.
Yeah.
Can we get a
So
chorus?
much, though.
Can we get a moment?
Oh dear. Like as if I was, because I really sing it. I don't,
You don't think it,
Okay.
you sing it.
I sing. it.
Showerhead.
Okay.
Shower's closed.
Okay, here we go. Been travel these wide roads for so long. My heart's been, what is it? Far from you, 10,000 miles gone. Because I'm
Take me
thinking
to
too
the
hard.
river.
Take me to the river. I wanna go. That's
just-
the shower song.
How do you shower with it? Are you like,
Yeah, I'm stroking.
I mean, that's the
Yeah.
only way.
to your river?
Yeah. No. Take me to a river. No, the song that I used to sing all the time was Dixie Chicks. Let 'Em Fly.
Let them fly.
It was
Dixie
like-
Chicks always.
That, yeah. Mainly because I was always I knew I needed to break up with my boyfriend. It was unhealthy. And that song was like described exactly our relationship. And so it took me a year and a half to finally break it off. So I just sang it in the shower every day. Like, I really got to break up with this dude.
Just a reminder. How does that song go? How does that go? I can't remember.
Ain't no talking to this man. Ain't no pretty other side. I'm gonna let him fly.
And he's just walking out there being like, I don't know. Is this a hint? Like,
He's
are we
like, sorry, what was
good?"
that? I was like, nothing. Just washing my hair.
You gotta go.
Everything's fine.
That door.
Yeah.
I don't want you here.
Just making full eye contact with him.
It's like trying to get in the shower.
Yeah. I'm gonna let him fly. He's like, what? No, nothing. That's nothing.
Nothing.
No.
Richelle.
I'm always country, no matter what.
Which one?
Every time. Usually you and me going fishing in the dark. Down
on
by the water. With the
Yeah,
There's
never
never any words, ever. Never any words.
I
Yeah,
need to get you some spoons for your shower. Can you imagine?
I'm always messing with sounds over the
And-
words. That's it. That's all you got to do. So, and then you, yeah, you know what I mean? Did my hair and I like it like that.
Nice.
And I go for
Is
it.
that the main song? It is
That's
obviously, right?
always that song is the one that comes into my head in the shower.
That's the thing. It ends up being this like one song,
Mm-hmm.
and it just
That's it.
comes on back. All right.
Unless you bring a speaker in there and that
Unless
means
you
you're
bring-
on
yeah.
shuffle.
Yeah.
You take it off repeat, put it on shuffle. I like that.
Yeah. Life on shuffle.
It's key.
All right. Krissy?
What did your parents say to you as a kid that still affects you today?
Yeah, you'd think it'd be something. I was thinking about it, and the thing that immediately came to mind, I'm like, it's not poetic. It's just like solid advice. Is my dad would always say, there's no such thing as bad weather. There's just stupid dressers. And growing up in Saskatchewan, where it's so cold or so hot or whatever the case may be, he would always, and you'd be like, oh, it's such shit out or whatever. I'm so cold. And so it makes sense because you can dress appropriately for any type of weather, and then it's actually not that bad. And so that's
Then it's
why
enjoyable.
I layer like crazy, because then you're never really cold, or when it's hot, I've always got some sort of cooling bits rocking to some extent, or hat or something.
You
What
are
was
the
the saying
master of
again?
layers.
He would say, there's no such thing as bad weather, just stupid dressers.
I love it.
So
I
that
love
goes
it.
off in my head anytime I travel or leave the house. And I'm always like, what do you need to be wearing so you're not stupid about it?
That makes perfect sense. I love it. That's a good one. Where did he learn that?
Don't know. I have no idea. I think it was just an observation. And he loved calling us stupid, not in a mean way. People just in general. Just in a way of just like, yeah, what are you going to do? People are dumb. People can be dumb. They're good at heart. They mean well. We're all a bit dumb. And so it was everything always had a little bit of a like, it's probably because you're being an idiot.
I love it. There's no intent there. It's just a humble, a dummy.
It's just like, we do a lot of stupid things. This is a great example of it. We dress really stupid and we blame it on the weather. It's
I
not
love
the
it.
weather's fault. It's our stupidity.
Well, mine's very similar. My dad always used to say when we were driving somewhere and there was like a bend in the road, he'd always say, hold on, we're heading for the rhubarb. Hold on, pumpkin, we're heading for the rhubarb. And I'd be like, what? And I'd always like brace myself, right? Until I figured out that we were totally on track to go around the bend. But I think that was an important one because it always made me laugh. And
I love it.
Yeah. And I just, I think that one, there was just, I'll never forget it. Because at a young age, you're just kind of like, what? Why? What is rhubarb, first of all? And what do you mean we're heading there? Are the brakes not working? Is this car? And then it's a joke, right? And then you're just like, oh, Dad, it's so funny.
Oh.
So Yeah. So now every now and again, I'll do that to like little kids if they're in the car with me or something like that. And they're like, what do you mean? And they love it. And if you do it with an adult, you're like,
rhubarb.
what? Nobody's doing it. So, it's the jokester and it landed. That's it. That's me for life.
I love that. You guys both went heartfelt and I took it very literal as things my parents said that I picked up that now are terrible habits. And
they were like, if you step on a crack, you break my back. She's like, been scared ever since.
No, it was definitely more overhearing like, oh, did I turn the oven off? Did I lock the door in a frantic? And so now when I leave, I'm like, okay, oven turned off. Okay, straightener turned off. Like I have to physically walk up to it and like check all the things. And then I'll still get to my car and be like, oh my God, did I turn this off? Or I'll be in bed and I literally say to my husband almost every night, I did switch the oven, didn't I? I looked at it. I know, but
oh, you just can't help
that
it.
Prevalent that it's like even while you're in the house headed to bed.
You have to remember that I also grew up thinking it was very probable that I would get stabbed. Like that seemed like and like kidnapped.
Yeah.
Which now in modern times I'm like more probable. But like I literally had that in my head that everyone was out to get you.
Right.
Which is probably why you're still alive today, Krissy.
But do you Ross?
Let's not enable her. But that was smart.
Yeah. So do you also still carry that you are concerned you're going to get stabbed?
No, I go far left and normally don't take my safety to the utmost
but the
priority that I should. But the oven stuck.
The oven stuck. Yep. See, I should have that. The amount of times that Dave's come in, to whatever room I'm in and he's like, you left the oven on since noon. And I was like, you did.
I've done that too. I've totally left my oven on all day and been like, come home and the place is warm. And I'm like,
I'll call you guys and I'll be like, did you turn your ovens off?
Yeah, probably not since Monday. No.
That's middle of the day. We're like, oh.
Yeah. I'm like, it is hot in here. I need to dress differently.
What's that orange glow over yonder?
Yeah. Oh dear.
Campfire.
Right. All right, let me take a little gander, a little peek-see. Oh, okay, yeah. What's a funny memory about what's a funny memory about one of your first days back to school? Because it is back to school for all the kids, so it made me think of it. Like, or what's a memory that's worth telling? Preferably funny. I want to laugh.
Okay, well, this one's not funny, but it's kind of funny. Okay, so I'll go first.
Funny.
I transitioned schools a lot, elementary schools a lot. Okay. And my mom tried to get me back into this school in Dogwood in Surrey. And it was a school I'd gone to for like a year prior. And I was really excited to go to be back there, but she couldn't get me in. I'd gone there for a year. Then we moved. I went to another school for another year. And then we came back. And so she tried to get me back into that same school. And they were like, no, we can't fit her in. It's full. But there is a school up the way. She can go there. And so anyway, I didn't know anybody at this new one. And I was so nervous for some reason. I don't know. The older I got, the more nervous I got about these elementary schools because kids were mean back then. I had buck teeth and red hair was nuts. Yeah. Like I had a lot going on for myself as a young one, So, and I was cross-dressing all the time. So, anyway, so I get to this school and I was like, Mom, I don't want to be here. This is not, I don't feel good about this today. And on my way there, I had actually thrown up because I'd had some bad milk. So, bad milk, bad Fruit Loops. So we pulled over, I puked and she was like, you good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So we get to school and the principal's like, don't worry, I got it from here. And I just looked at my mom like, no, we don't got this from here. And I just not have this. She's like, yeah, I remember she looked at me and then later on she told me like as an adult, she was like, yeah, when I looked in your eyes, she's like, I knew it was going to be a bad day. So when I was younger, was friends with this young guy named Lucas. And he was kind of more of like the little bad apple. He was always just trying to do crazy stuff. And I was just trying to keep up with them. And he had an older sister and, he just wanted to like do boy stuff. And I was kind of more the calm one. So if anybody was to like run away or do anything, it was usually Lucas, not me. So I get to school. My mom goes and meets up with my best friend Lucas's mom, Sandy, and they're having coffee and breakfast at this place. It's literally like the school that I went to, which is where Lucas is at, is like over here. And then there's like this little coffee shop in the middle. And then the new school I'm at is over here. So my mom explains it like this. So we're sitting there and the fire department and 3 cop cars go by. And Sandy goes, oh, I wonder what Lucas has done now. And they turn up and they go down this way. And she goes, well, I guess it's not my kid. And then my mom gets a phone call that I've run away from school. And I'll never forget it because I got brought to the classroom by the principal and I had my lunch bag and I was like, I'm not putting this lunch bag down because I'm running. I'm going to run. I'm going to full run. So I had my shoes, I had everything. And the teacher looked at me and she was like, okay, what's your name? And I was like, Richelle. And I'm staring at the door and I could see through the door at the front and I could see where I'm about to go. And she's like, you can put your lunch bag. And I was like, I'm okay. And I'm staring at the door. And so she turns around and I was like, this is my chance. And I just beelined it for the door. And I went as fast as anybody could go, so fast. And I ended up dropping my lunch out the front door. And this is Surrey, like in the 90s. Right. So I'm running out the door. I'm gone. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I live. We're in a whole new house. Like this is a whole new catchment for me. All I know is
Holy shit.
And I was young. I must've been like, I don't know. It was highest or, elementary school, right? So whatever ages you are then.
Guts that would have taken.
It took so, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forget the feeling. Like, the feeling nowadays where you're like sitting at like an appointment and you're like, I should get up and leave. Like, do I wait? Do I leave? And you're like, no, I'm leaving. And you go, right? So I beeline it out there. I don't know where I'm going. And I just ended up running into the forest basically. And I found my way kind of like back to an old house that I had lived at.
Oh, it's like cats that return home.
Yeah, it was like cats that return home. And from that old house, I remembered the way to the new house because my mom was like, oh, this is where we were before. And and I got a terrible memory. And the only reason I remembered that is because I would count the poles, like the light poles. And so I recognized the light poles. So I was just walking down the street. So my mom gets a call from the cops. And as she's passing to the cops, or the school had said to come down there. And she was like, well, if she's not there, why would I come there? Like, she's obviously somewhere. So I guess in the intermittent of it, she ended up running into one of the cops that had like stopped and they were like, okay, we're looking for her. And in that moment, I had basically like walked behind them, like right in front of the coffee shop that they were all at and went straight to the new house. And I didn't know it was them and they didn't see me. And so there was just like this moment where I was there and I just was like, kept walking. And I was like, there's the coffee shop that we pick up my breakfast at. And I just kept going. I just kept following this path of like, I know where to go. And I got home and I turned on PlayStation and played Gran Turismo until my mom came home. And she's like, where have you been all day? Yeah. So yeah, it was when Gran Turismo came out and PlayStation was cool. So I remember that much.
Your mom must have been so worried.
She was absolutely worried. Yeah. And they definitely like stuck in the area, obviously. And I think the search took a few hours until she was kind of like, if I know Richelle, I know that she'll go to somewhere that's familiar. She doesn't like new things. Yeah. So I think I don't remember if she said that they had actually gone to the old house, but she was just like, I had a feeling just to come to the new house and that you would be here.
How did you go to school the next day?
I'm here.
When did you go back to school? And you were like, hey, that teacher.
I didn't.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, at what point do you have to go back? And you were like, hey, it's me. Yeah. Let's try this again.
Sorry. Yeah. No, she called my old school and she was like, listen, she's already going through enough. She ran away from home. She ran away from the school. Like, we cannot put her back there. And so they made an exception and allowed me back into the other school. Yeah. It was amazing.
Gosh.
It was crazy because I think not like a month later or like a couple weeks later, we had done these time capsules where we buried like our precious little things that we thought were so cool as a child, like in the dirt. at Dogwood Elementary. I never actually got to go grab it, but
Let's do it this
We
weekend.
might still be there.
yeah. Oh man, could you imagine? That'd be so good. I wonder what I
Tamagotchis
put in
in the
there.
house.
Yeah, that was the one first day I remember like very vividly. Yeah.
Well, that story didn't disappoint at
Right?
all. I just have to learn my lesson and always go before you.
Yes.
Because
Sorry, man.
our stories are never, it's like, yeah, that's intense. Fully running away from,
The
Like,
one and
as
only
a-
time.
as somebody that's worked in schools as a teacher, and then like
Oh.
thinking of what that would be of like that kid being so committed to getting the fuck out of Dodge that
Yeah.
they just beelined it out.
I was gone.
And like, because everything inside of us is so conditioned to like, you listen at school, you
Yeah.
follow what they've asked you. So that's why I'm like, the guts that it would take.
For sure. I was
Where
just so
True Grit was
uncomfortable.
born.
Yeah.
That's where True Grit was born, baby. There was no way. I never felt so like, I can't be here. This isn't my place. It was wild to follow my
It
heart like
is.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run
That's
like
pretty
the
great.
wind.
Never went
Yeah,
back.
so I've shared 2 of my first days with you. One being when I made up the word economa to make conversation, if
Mhm,
we
mhm.
recall, when I didn't know anyone and I just walked in repeating, looking at people, economa. And the other being when I had that really terrible haircut before grade 9 and I like cried for a week solid and it put sparkles in it.
Right.
So I have to choose just from like early days of school. And I'm sure it's happened to all of us. It's why they send kids in modern time with a spare pair of pants.
Oh,
But like, when like you poop yourself, that's
You
No.
pooped yourself on your first day of school?
no, that's what I'm saying. It's not a first
Oh.
day story.
Oh, it's at
early
school
days.
story. No,
Mhm,
cool. Yeah,
Early days.
Yeah.
absolutely.
But like then like instantly you're like,
High
okay,
school days.
how
just
do
speaking
I-
about.
how do I manage this situation? Even in your young brain, you're like, okay, this is bad. And all I
you know that mistakes have been made.
because like
wait,
people
how did
can't
the poo
see.
happen? Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
let's
don't know.
start
You're like
there.
a little kid, and like you think
Were
maybe
you
it's gonna
on the
be
way
a
to the
little-
bathroom? Were you sitting at your desk?
Oh no,
At
it was
dinner?
like
Were you
circle
on-
time on the carpet thingy.
Yeah.
And you
Oh.
think it's like maybe going to be a little, and then instead it's not.
Oh, it was a fart.
And
It was a shark.
it was a fart. But like the worst part is, when you're like, okay, this is bad. And then like the smell's breaching before you're able to do public relations. So then you just start looking at your pals being like, ew, who was that? But you're like, it's me.
You fully shit yourself.
And then I remember it was like the time schools had funding. So there was certainly more than just the teacher on site there, because I remember, bless Mrs. Weiss's heart, and just like quietly being like, I need to go to the bathroom. And then to the office. And because I don't think there
You
were
need to
spare
go to
pants.
the
Like, I don't
bathroom.
remember my parents getting me or what transpired or if they lost and founded this bitch. I'm not sure. But
I
from there,
remember
the details are traumatic, I guess. 'Cause
That
I don't
is
recall
so
what occurred.
traumatizing.
I mean, you never
Yeah.
shit at school?
Not
Doesn't
a one
that happen
time.
to
No.
people? Mm.
I
Crash
I
crawlies.
barely pooped as a kid. I only pooped once a week until I was,
Oh.
I don't even know, like 18. It was very, very unhealthy. I was so
Although I've
turned
looked
off
up
by pooping.
pooping things, because we all know I like have camping constipation, and your
Mm.
once a week might not be abnormal. Like there's really weird
Oh.
baselines for everyone's different biomes. So you might be
Crazy.
more normal than you think.
Well, this
God,
is
you're
a-
always coming in with the facts, Krissy. I love that.
It's no longer a thing now. I'm very regular. I'd love to announce it to as many people as possible right now.
Absolutely.
Just to really, really get personal there.
I mean,
Yeah.
we do gift kids and parents that book Everybody Poops. Like
Everybody
at the end of the
poops.
day. To be honest, that fact helps me get through many conversations. Like anytime I'm slightly intimidated, whether it be a boss or someone I see as authority, I just look at them through the
You're like,
perception
"You poop."
lens of like, you poop.
You
Makes
poop.
everything okay.
Mine was not a first day technical story, but it had to do with my first day, my clothes, back to school clothes. Did you guys do that? Where like you had one outfit you got to go buy, and that was your first day of school clothes?
Hand me downs.
It was a big thing I think it was like, but it wasn't just me. It was I remember like all the kids that I knew.
All the
at
other
our
kids.
school,
Yeah,
all the other
I know.
kids. It was
I'm
like
familiar.
You're like, yeah, no,
You guys,
everyone
you
did except
fuckers
for
with
me.
your new outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you couldn't wear this outfit. Once it was purchased, you didn't get to wear it until that first day. And
Yes.
I
loved that.
I had these, you're right. And I had these jeans that I got and they cuffed at the bottom and the cuffs, the underneath was plaid. And I thought they were the cat's meow. And I really wanted to wear them. And so my cousin and I, who will like always play make-believe. I probably was about 10-ish. And I was like, Mom, can I put my school clothes on? Like, it's just for make-believe. I'll take them off right after, but I need them for this gig that we're going to make believe. No, I'm like, sure. So what I needed these jeans for is because we were really committed to pretending we were bar waitresses, single mother bar waitresses. Why they were single mothers, why all of this, but it was a thing.
My mom would love that.
And we would drop them off. We would put them on the couch. And that was like, we'll be right back. And we had like cookie trays that we would carry around. And that was for our drinks. And we would go pretend to like save. And I would walk around in these jeans. And I remember thinking like, I am going to like run this bar. I remember feeling like a grown ass woman with my bar tray, which is ironic because when I got older and I was a waitress for a very temporary time, I was the worst waitress ever. So none of this practice paid off. But yeah, this was like, so it was always one of those things that as I look back, I think, what a strange thing for kids to play. Like, do you know what I mean? Of all things, we're like, let's be bar waitress. Like, it wasn't even like our parents were big drinkers or we had anything to really go off of. But yeah, that memory is like, I remember feeling the best, top of the world.
You totally just like, I just had a memory snap in my brain. Grade 6, first day, new school, hand-me-downs from my cousin, Kristen Margaret, also a Kristen. And she had like this velvety, like velour shirt and then another one. And so I had a long sleeve brown one and then a blue one underneath. And then I remember when I took it off and then had yet another velvet shirt on, it did not help with my branding.
Oh my God.
But like, I thought they were so cool and they weren't.
Velvet
They definitely
on
weren't.
velvet.
That just like made my brain snap into that. Cause I have a friend that lives in Comox
Amazing.
that still, she had like a silk shirt on that same day. And it's like, we still remember what we both wore in that grade 6
remember
moment.
the
I also
silk
had
shirts.
lice
They were
at
a
that
hit.
time.
Oh,
Definitely
silk
brought
was
that
in.
to class.
You pooped your pants and you had lice.
You had lice?
Ah.
Oh no.
I
glad
definitely
that
like
we're
had it
friends
in
at this
Toronto
time.
and then must have brought it to the new school or caught it again in the new school. It's unclear, but yeah.
Fuck.
Well, that
All
was
right.
fun
Krissy.
down memory lane now that I'm going to have to
Right?
carry my sorrows of childhood later. You just went off-roading with the Motovation Podcast, hosted by Laurie Joy Kingwell and myself, Krissy Vann.
And of course, a special thank you to Richelle from True Get Moto.
Whoop, lost it.
Never miss an episode by hitting like or subscribe. Connect with us on Instagram at Motovation Podcast and visit our website at themotivation.com. And in the meantime, full tanks, full throttle.
I think this is good though. It's like healthy, you know? Like people will be like, oh my God, I don't floss.
Plus, it's going to be so hard not to laugh to get through this intro.